everyone. It's Sandy here, and it's the new moon rose reading for the end of May of 2017. And in my endeavouring to be a little bit ahead of the energies this time, I'm doing this recording just a day early, and it's a beautiful, beautiful evening here in England, and I'm certainly down where I am on the south coast, and I'm sure that a lot of people are out on the beach or out in the garden this evening. But actually, I've just noticed that there are some of you that have chosen to join me, so I feel really blessed that you're here to hear the. There's Carolyn. Hi, Carolyn. To hear the rose reading. So yeah, I hope you're all doing really well and enjoying this movement into the better weather, hopefully, and that everything is going well for you. This is just extraordinary, intense times. For me, it's just it's been a real roller coaster of a few months now, actually, and. Oh, hi, Bibi, and hi, Roberta. Yeah, and you know, this is just extraordinary stuff. You know, both in our inner landscape, but of course, you know what we're seeing in our outer world, and the experiences this week, and what we've witnessed as happening in Manchester. You know, these are. Destabilizing times, and it really feels to me that the call is actually to find these places within, you know, for us to be able to be present to what's unfolding in our outer world, but also to be able to come back into center and to come into community, and also to be able to, you know, send our heartfelt wishes to those that have been caught up in the circumstances that have unfolded this week. You know, whatever we might perceive the underlying imprint that has triggered this off. There's clearly a whole process that's going on around division, and what we're being called to is to come actually into a place of unity, and we see this in communities coming together, and this has always been the place for our human journey, that when there has been adversity, that we tend to connect and communicate. And this creates more bonding in our human field and in our sense of our belonging and our purpose here. So I think there is another value that's actually going on underneath what's actually being experienced and what we're seeing in the media. Anyway, this Gemini new moon at 5 degrees is another powerful imprint to walk over the bridge, if you like, to actually move forward with our lives, to create a new template. New moons have long been associated with new beginnings, and this one has really felt to me about getting clarity. Seeing what's being shown in my own circumstance in my own life, and understanding that, you know, this new moon in particular at 5 degrees Gemini, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and here we are, the planet of communication. So this is for us to have absolute clarity of our purpose, clarity of our connections, and a refining process in this next phase of what we're wanting to experience, what we're wanting to bring forward into our lives, what we're wanting to co-create. So, what might the roses have to reveal for us if we look at their wisdom and their insight, as they can offer us perhaps another perspective? And, let's see if that resonates in any way with your own experience or story that you're working with at the moment. And if they can give you any insights that will make your path a little easier. So, are you drawn to Rose Card 1, Rose Card 2, or Rose Card 3? Just take a few minutes and see which one of those lights up for you, which one has a radiance, has an energy on it for you. So, if you were drawn to Rose Card 1, here she is, and she's Rose 5, and she's from the original 11 roses that form the healing grid on the body that I share with the Rose 1 class. So this rose sits on the throat, and she's all about speech. She's, and interesting, isn't it? This whole place of where what comes forward, mirrors and adds to the flavour of what we're dealing with. So this rose is one of the Alhambra roses. She sits on the throat, and she's a very refined and defined rose. She's got this golden backing to the petals here, and it has got this beautiful, fine, almost a magenta edging to her petals. So when she's sitting on the throat, this is where she would go if I was working with her and doing a healing grid on the body. My pranic healing master said what comes out of the mouth is more important than what goes in it. First be kind. We never know what someone else's story is. We never know what is up behind somebody's actions. But if we can hold a place of loving presence to what's unfolding for them, it allows them to be mirrored and be able to access that place of consciousness in themselves. This is the throat chakra sits as the higher octave of the sacral chakra, and that sacral chakra holds that imprint of who am I inside the tribe, who am I inside my family tribe, in my birth family, but also in my spiritual community. This is this beautiful chalice, if you like, that holds that template of self-value, self-love and self-worth. And so any issues in that pelvic area, in that womb space, affect and impact on our ability to be really, really clear about who we are and what our values are. This particular rose, it's actually an interesting thing, because one of the words that's really come up for me recently, in my own journey of refining and really saying, what needs to shift, what needs to clear in my world, is this word of impeccability. Being impeccable with our word. If we say yes to something, then we follow it through. Unless, of course, there are more challenged circumstances. But even then, it's about being impeccable. It's about being able to speak our truth and be able to come from that place of kindness. This time is all about impeccability, authenticity, and alignment. What's your alignment? Are you in alignment with your actions? are you in alignment with, what you're moving towards? There is no wriggle room anymore. If we don't absolutely pay attention, then we are reminded very loudly. I can see that we've got quite a few more that have joined us this evening. There's Vicky and there's Mo and there's Hannah. Welcome to the reading. So yes, this is Rose Card 1. So all about the throat, all about being able to speak our truth clearly, and in this connection between heart and head. I've watched this for myself. What my heart is saying and what my head is saying. Can I bring a harmony between these two energies? Because the throat is like that center point on the egg timer. If the sound has to move between these 2 points, when we switch. So this throat place is where that energy gets constricted, but it's where we need to be absolutely clear about, what we're saying. Our words have a power. Our words have an energy, and once they're out there, we can't take those words back. They carry such a strong frequency. So, if you were drawn to Rose Card 2, here she is, and she's Rose Angel 1. Now, Rose Angel 1 is the first of the Rose Angel cards, and she sits on the crown, and she is one of the transformers of separation to surrender. So the Rose Angels that are very definite in their voice, they are the transformers of the 5 wounds to the heart, of abandonment, betrayal, denial, judgment and separation, and they sit in certain chakras in the body. As I said, this one sits in the crown, but what they do is they act as transformers. So what they allow us to do is to really dive deep and to gather the jewels, because what these do is they bring up the jewels of self-love, of trust, of truth, of forgiveness, and this is this rose that is about surrender. Now, this is one of the few roses where her blossom is open. She's revealing her golden heart, this inner place of the Rosa Mystica, the inner knowledge of the rose. And so she's saying, be open to the messages, be open to the insights and the wisdom that can be offered you. Don't close in. Stay open. And she's also a rose that came with buds. Again, not many of the roses in the Oracle deck actually came with buds. And there is a real sense with this rose of family, of remembering that in our bigger picture of what's going on here, we are all family. We are all one. So whatever happens and whatever goes off in different parts of the world, this is affecting humanity at a bigger picture, a bigger level. So she's reminding us, that we are all one, and that we come together in that consciousness, in that level of consciousness. And maybe if you've drawn her today, or you've called for Rose 2, what you're wishing, this reminder of is this sense of community. And whether that is in your birth family, or your soul family, your soul tribe, your spiritual tribe, this place of coming together. And, that's where our power is. That's where our strength is. We all need, communication. We all need community. And she reminds us of this. She reminds us of the drawing to community. And if you drew Rose card 3, this one is Rose Angel 3. And she says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and end of your search. I am the golden heart, and I hand you the golden key. And I think this rose in particular, it's like she's got an invitation. This petal here, it's like this invitation to come into this place of gold, into this place, of the golden heart. And we know that the rose resonates to the golden mean. She resonates to the ratio of 1 to 1.61803. She also resonates with the planet Venus, and this has been proved now within the scientific community that the heart in love resonates to 1 to 1.61803. So the heart resonates to the golden mean, and this is so interesting in the fact that Venus is seen as the planet of love. What we do know is that the growth proportions of our body is all to the golden mean, to the golden ratio. And so at a cellular level, we resonate with love, we resonate with the frequency of the rose. We know that the rose oil, for instance, is the highest of the Hertz frequencies. I think it's about 326 microhertz on the scale, which is why rose is seen as the anointing rose of oil of the heart, but it's also used for the anointing of kings and queens, to activate and move the energy up to the pineal gland. So the rose holds the ancient alchemical mysteries for us of turning our own inner lead, our own inner stories to the gold. And when we resonate and in the heart field, when we activate the golden heart, when we activate the golden energy into our energy fields, so we become illuminated, so we light up. And it becomes much, much more difficult for us to get sick when we are able to hold to this frequency. And it's that energy, it's that frequency of our being that allows us to be healers and inspirers and uplifters, way showers for others in our families and in our communities. This pathway of gathering the inner gold, gathering our inner resources. And, as we started off with this reading today, this place of coming back into centre, I noticed it was very easy to find myself getting spun out on the stories that were coming up, particularly around the Manchester bombing this week. And, the heart goes out to anyone that's suffering or has lost a child or a family member in this unfolding piece. And the best we can do for ourselves and for them is to come back into centre. So here we are. Here's the message of the 3 roses. To remember to speak our truth, to be clear, to be discerning about what we have to share, to remember that calling to community, to remain open, to surrender to the insights and the inner guidance that can come forward for us at this time when we remain open, and also to remember the power and the bond of community and family, and to resource, to come into this place of a light heart flame, this this lit energy of this golden heart, so that we can, when our own heart flames are lit, turn and light the heart flames of others, because that is the greatest service that we can offer. So I hope that the roses have been able to give you some insight for your own journey at this point. They are a powerful resource for us in troubled times. And yes, that we take time to honour ourselves and come back into centre. And from that place, of course, we can give. So what else have I got to share? There are a couple of really lovely days at the Chalice Well that I'm offering. There will be some new, I've changed the format slightly in the offering that I'd put out as a 2-dayer. I've now split that into 2 separate days, and I have a beautiful Rose sister coming to join me from America, Renee Jensen, and she is a feng shui master. So the Friday the 23rd at the Chalice Well, we're going to be talking about the feng shui of love and how to create the most magical space that can really support your energy. And we'll be using the roses, we'll be using that weave of the black hat feng shui and the rose bagua and the pure energetic feng shui, which is the pranic healing feng shui, the pranic feng shui, and also some tools and tips for space clearing and also to optimize your energy. And then on Saturday the 24th, we've got a beautiful Alchemy of Love retreat day at the Chalice Well. And I'm really hoping that, you may be drawn to come to one or both of the days and enjoy that real sense of the Rose sisterhood and the nourishing energies of the well. The women historically always gathered around the well to gather in community and also to share wisdom and support for one another in the journey. So, yeah, there's lots of other bits and pieces that are coming out on the new newsletter, which hopefully will be out tomorrow. And, anyway, wishing you really well for this next piece of your journey. And, do remember that, in any new moon there is an opportunity to bring things to closure and to open to the new. And in that, I send much love and rosy blessings to you and yours. So until then, bye from the Rosy Temple here in Hampshire. Bye.